Hi, everybody. We're back with the owner of Serenity Home Organization, Stephanie Schleck. Go ahead. Tell me what her last name is.
You did it right. Stephanie Schleck.
I got it right.
Yes.
Okay.
Well done.
Gold star.
Oh, God. Go ahead, Danielle.
Okay, so I imagine that as listeners are, listening to the concept of decluttering and home organization, a lot of us are probably thinking something along the lines of, wow, that sounds amazing. But I bet there are people with some hesitancy, a little bit of anxiety or possibly embarrassment about bringing someone else into their home to do the decluttering and the organizing. So for that listener who's thinking that right now, what would you say to them on just kind of where they're at and next steps and why they should make the call?
Yeah. I would say absolutely no judgment. When we come in, there is no judgment. Everybody's home looks different. Everybody struggles with something. I struggle with my own things and don't always want people to see my home either. But I would say press into your why. Why are you wanting someone to come in and help you walk through the decluttering and the organization process? Let that be your motivation. What is your end result? What do you want your home to look like? What do you want it to feel like? And then take that bold step of bringing somebody into that space who can help you and walk with you and make that dream be a reality.
I think that, like you said, all of us kind of have a different background. For me, if my refrigerator is full, I think there are two of us that live in this house. How could the two people possibly be responsible to eat everything in that refrigerator? So my comfort level is like, I want to know that I'm only responsible for a small amount of things, but it's really hard because the other personality I have is, it's on sale, therefore I need to buy it.
Right.
So,
How do you talk somebody through that?
yeah, help me.
We're all wired with our own clutter threshold.
Okay.
And when you have multiple people living in a home, you're going to have multiple clutter thresholds. So the thought is to live at the person who has the lowest clutter threshold, because they physically can't tolerate anymore, like mentally and emotionally, it's going to be too stressful. So in your case, Sandra, I would say the person living with you needs to come to your level of clutter threshold and appreciate your minimalistic and simplest view that you want to live, because that's what's emotionally and mentally healthy for you. But to buy things just because they're on sale, you're adding to the clutter problem, because you probably don't have space for everything that you want to buy that's on sale. So you're just contributing to the stress.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, when it comes to food, though, buy it on sale and just invite us over for dinner. We're all coming out.
Well, there you go. That's one way to do it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, use it up before it spoils.
Good job, Danielle.
Free dinner, I'll take it.
Raymond does most of the cooking, honestly. So, yeah, and his tolerance for clutter is lower than mine.
Oh, okay.
So, but he likes the refrigerator fuller.
Okay.
So we just kind of bring balance into each other's lives, I guess. But I like what you said, because I think years ago I had heard someone say in marriage counseling that the person who is more passionate about something, that should be what you give in on if it's more important to them than it is to you.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like what you're saying, because it does create a level of anxiety to have stuff around you.
Yeah, it really does.
So can you share a couple stories with us of just the process and someone that you've helped and, kind of that change that occurred?
Yes, I'd love to. So I love this part. I love the transformation and seeing how people feel when it's done. It's definitely one of my motivators. So one client, she wanted me to do her garage, and I was so excited. We had done the in-home. I had figured it out and planned it out, and I literally laid awake that night thinking about how we were going to do it. I was so excited. So the morning of, I call her on my way to let her know that I'm coming, and she said, Stephanie, I have to tell you, I'm completely dreading this. I don't think we're going to get it done, and I really just don't want to do it. And I said, I am so excited. Like, I literally stayed awake last night thinking about this, and I promise you it is going to be a good process, and you are going to love the result. And so sure enough, I get there, and she was kind of downtrodden, but I just sat her in a chair, and I said, I'm going to hold up things, and you're going to tell me which pile. Keep donate or purge. And so that's what we did.
Wow.
And 2 hours later, her garage was completely transformed, and she was able to park in there, and it looked neat and it looked organized, and she was blown away. And she said, I never thought that this was possible. Her son gets home 10, 15 minutes later, and she says, go out and look at the garage and see what Stephanie and I did. And so we did, and he comes back in and he has this cute, shocked look on his face, and he's like, you and my mom did that? And I said, yes, we did. And now it's your job to keep it up so it doesn't get back that way.
Good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you, what about food organization? I mean, we're talking spices and all of that stuff.
Oh,
is that like
your
your
my
sweet
jam.
spot? You like? I kind of had this feeling like she's gonna love doing this.
yes. Oh, I love pantries and spice cabinets. My neighbor has a huge pantry, and I asked her, can I please organize your pantry? And she says, well, I really need my closets done. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do those too, but I really want to do your pantry. Because it's where you can get creative, right? You can give someone that pantry that they see on Pinterest with the labeled containers and the organized spice jars, but at the same time, you're bringing peace and relaxation into a spot that's often stuffed and, stuff that's going stale because they forgot that they had it. So I think food organization is a big piece of it too.
When you think about that, would it be okay to buy that 40 piece spice rack and just hang that in there, or it's best to sit back and have you come in and do it all, and then only get what you really need?
I would say get what you need. I mean, if you cook regularly with 40 spices, then that's a great thing for you.
I do not.
Then you do not, yeah. So then pare it down to what you need and what you use. Yeah, and then bring me in and I can get you the spice racks and the labeled spice jars, and we can make it look super cute for you.
You got another story for us?
Yes. This just happened over the weekend. It was a resident who lives at Fellowship Square, which is an assisted living facility on the east side of Tucson. They had a big microburst happen, and part of her roof blew off. And so they had to move her from one apartment to a next. And so you can imagine, with someone who's older, who's being moved on quick notice, she was a little frazzled and was having a difficult time with the process. So they hired me to come in, and I got to partner with her for 3 hours and turn her apartment from just stacks of boxes and piles into everything put in its place. And she just loved it. She kept saying to me, I'm just so grateful for your help. And so what only took me 3 hours made a huge difference for her. And she was able to live back in an environment that she was just in before the flood.
We actually had a friend who went through a similar situation with a fire that started. And I was so impressed that the insurance company had people come in and box everything so they could do the work. But I never really thought about the process of putting it back, because they wouldn't know where things needed to go once the work is done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is that service ever included in an insurance claim, or is that usually just 100% out of pocket for the consumer?
I don't know. In this case, they're going to file it with the insurance claim, but I don't know as a whole if it is. I would think it should be, because they should return it to like, kind, and quality.
Right.
Well, if you're in the insurance field and you want to give us that answer, you can email us at johnsonsmith at indie-realty.com and let us know what your thoughts are on that. We'd love to hear.
I have a question.
Okay.
So when it comes to decluttering and to the process of making the decision of what you keep or donate or get rid of, especially when it comes to things like food, if it's something that you've spent a lot of money on, like let's say you went and bought that 40 spice rack, you realized you only use 3 of them, and it feels wasteful to get rid of all of the rest of them, but they may not have the usefulness of being able to donate. It might be something that's not really practical to donate. What would you tell someone in that process where it feels like they're losing money or wasting money by having to throw something out?
Yeah, that's a great question. And that is a hard dilemma. I think I would ask them again, what is your why? What do you want your home to feel like? And we often feel guilty getting rid of things that we've already spent money on. But if it's adding more stress to your life, why stay in bondage to that? Release it and let it go. Acknowledge, okay, I didn't need a 40-piece spice set. And so use that in the future to pare down things that you buy to realistically what you need.
I think vitamins are in that space for me.
Yeah.
I really have intentions of doing well and improving my health, and so I buy it, and then it expires and I can't throw it away because I spent too much money on
Right.
it. It's a horrible cycle.
It is.
We have just a couple more minutes. I was going to ask, can you give us a couple tips
Oh, yes.
for the decluttering and the home organization process?
Yes, I would love to. So one of my favorite tips, especially with families, is to say, set a timer for 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, and pick a space that's visible. So your living room or maybe the kids' playroom. And then everybody tackle it for just 10 minutes. People often say, I'm too busy. It's too overwhelming. I don't know where to start. But everybody has 10 minutes.
Nice.
And that way you tell your brain, it's just 10 minutes. I can make this work. So that's a great one. Make it a competition with your family. Who can get the most done in 10 minutes? Everybody pick a different room. Second tip is make the container the bad guy. So look at your pile that you have pared down to just what you want to keep. And then you've got, a storage container that you want to put it in. Pick everything that's your favorite, put it in there first. Your next favorites, put it in. When the container is full, whatever is left, that's more that you can donate. So the container is the bad guy, not you or not me. It's the container that's the bad guy. But it was a huge tool for you because it limited even more what you can keep.
Remind us how to get a hold of you, Stephanie.
520-370-8029 or email me at info@serenityhomeorg.com.
We want to thank you for coming with us.
Yeah, I was just going to say it seems like a great gift to give someone some peace of mind.
As the holidays come up. Yeah, absolutely.
So we want to thank all of our sponsors, Pioneer Title Agency, Indy Realty, Inspired Life Mortgage, Rego Pest Prevention and Power, that's POWUR Solar. If you use them, would you tell them that you heard about them on the I Am Real Estate Show?
Thanks for tuning in.